टाइम पास क्या फर्क पड़ता है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं पता नहीं, जो तारी राय सो मारी राय, nothing to do, nowhere to go. देखो सुनो मत बोलो, wherever, whenever, whatever you are, be 100% कर्नाटक, किसी को आओ मत कहो, किसी को जाओ मत कहो, ना कुछ पाना ना कुछ खोना. Who asked you live at zero complete level? मौज में रहो, be happy. श्री कृष्णा श्री कृष्णा श्री कृष्णा श्री कृष्णा. गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः, गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म, तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः, तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. We are trying to learn what is Brahmananda. If the words do not carry any meaning, then it is only a noise. So like if we say I don't know, this khar has no meaning. So it's a noise. So if somebody says a word dhokla in front of some tribe in Africa, so he will come and hit. Why do you call me dhokla? See? Because that word carries no meaning. Exactly the same way for us. Brahmanandam param sukhadam. What is Brahmananda? See? Therefore, we are trying to learn what exactly Brahmananda means. So first we are activity oriented in our life. And therefore we are seeking happiness. But the happiness that we seek is limited, finite, conditioned, not always available. And yet that is the only thing we know. So we want to do this, do that. So first of all, we have done everything in this world. We have done lot of efforts, earned lot of money. What for? To get happiness. We didn't get. Then we tried to indulge a lot in bhoga. We tried. But then after some time it becomes stale. Then we have gone to the temples, Kurute Ganga Sagar Gamanam. There also we are going away from ourselves. What for? And then we come across the Patanjali. See? Right from toothpaste up to the cow ghee. And then we are attracted towards yoga. So first of all, the yoga is only acrobatics. And then slowly we are becoming more centered. And unknowingly we are taken to from the activities to the suspension of activities. So we are told, do yoga, sit quiet. When I simply sit quiet, what happens? During your yoga practice, the whole house is at peace. Because when you are active, the whole house is in mess. So do yoga for 8 hours, 9 hours a day. And slowly, slowly, we get into that mode. We become yoga student. And then we are told what exactly yoga is, that we have to quieten our mind without going to sleep. So first is Sampradnyat Samadhi and then Asampradnyat Samadhi. This I am just revising what we have done in the 11th chapter of Panchadashi. Oh, did we do it? I think. Then, there it was told that there are three types of Ananda: Brahmananda, Vidyananda and Vishayananda. So first, Yogananda was explained that when you do yoga, you get the bliss not from outside by doing something, but by undoing all what you have been doing. So simply sit quiet and don't get involved in anything. Chitta vritti nirodha, and you attain peace. Oh, good. That was the first introduction to what is Brahmananda. Thereafter, the teacher took Brahmanande. What was that? Atmananda. The second chapter, 12th chapter was Brahmanande, Atmananda. Then there a question was raised. From that Brahman, the whole world has come out. How come from that Atma, the whole world can come out? So, I am Atma and I am Brahmananda. I can't create even one family. How can the whole world be created by me? Then it was told, no, you have to understand properly. What is the proper understanding? Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. See, whatever we are seeking, it is not for the sake of that object. Like the wife is dear to the husband, not for the sake of the wife, but for his own sake. And we are dear to ourselves because we are the source of happiness. So that which gives us happiness, we love that, we like it. And what we like the most, we like ourselves the most. Because we are the source of infinite bliss. Therefore, don't seek happiness, discover. You are bliss. That was Brahmanande, Atmananda. Then, now we are coming to this. So there are so many people. So there are so many Brahmas, Brahmanandas. Therefore, now in the third stage, the teacher is trying to tell us Brahmanande Advaitananda, non-dual. And thereafter, the world's creation was explained to indicate ultimately Brahmananda. So there are different theories. One is, out of the thread a cloth is made. So modification. Then that is Parinamavad. Then comes the milk becoming the curd, like that Brahman became the world. Both of them were rejected. Then the third one was Vivarta. Vivarta means something appears to be happening, but nothing is happening. Something is experienced as if it is real, but it is not real. Then what is experience is only the image, not the original. That is Vivarta. So in that Vivarta, so many examples were given, and one of the example quoting the Upanishad, Shvetashvatar, was that Devatma Shaktim Swagunai Nigudham. There is a divine potentiality called as the Maya Shakti, which is Triguna, the three Sattvanas, Tamas. By these three, it is covering the divinity that we are. And therefore, although nothing has happened, but everything appears to be happening. And then to indicate it properly, Yoga Vasishta was told, wherein the Dhatri, the maid servant, she was trying to keep the children quiet. So they will say, you tell us some story. So the story is being told. And yesterday also I told you, our Sant Dhaneshwar Maharaj also says similar type of story. काट्याच्या आणीवर वसले 3 गाव, 2 वसाड 1 वसेचना. On the tip of a thorn, there were 3 villages. And out of these 3 villages, 2 were having no population and 1 was barren. And in that there were 3 pot makers. And these 3 pot makers made 3 pots. But though 2 were raw and 1 was not cooked. Now in these 3 pots, they have cooked 3 lentils. 2 were never cooked and 3rd was remaining raw. And then they were feeding them to the 3 persons. And the 3 persons, 2 were not there, 1 was not available. And after they ate that, then they felt very happy. To understand this story, you have to go to Guru Maharaj. See, when this is sang song-wise, so it is okay, but that is not all. This is called as the parokshata. Something is said, but something is meant. Like somebody asked me this morning a question. Swamiji, please explain tomorrow. Okay. What is the lakshartha and the vachartha of Tattvamasi Mahavakya? So, lakshartha and vachartha means the word meaning. Calling a donkey is a word meaning. And calling a dumb person a wise one, आप तो ज्ञानी है. That means you are a donkey. That is the lakshartha. Therefore, to understand this 3, we have to know that is Maya is Trigudehi Nigudham Sattva Rajas Tamas. And our whole life is lived with reference to tamas, objective pursuit. With reference to rajas, activities. And with reference to the sattva, enjoyment, bhog. So unless we are able to recognize that all these 3 are supported by Katyacha Anivar on the tip of the thorn, meaning it is so subtle that you will not be able to cognize that. See? So, this Maya appears to have created everything, but in fact nothing is created. See? Kindly do this experiment now. If you can look at some bright light, look intensely at some bright light. For maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Now, close your eyes. Keep your experience with you. Now, open your eyes. And this is the second experience. Now, again close the eyes. Now, conclusion. When we looked at the lamp, bright lamp, for some time, it created an impression on our mind. So when we closed the eyes, we were seeing the light, where it was seen? We are not looking at the light, but we are seeing the light. So that light was on the screen of the mind. And when we open our eyes, all that is seen through the eyes, that also became a reflection on the same mind. And therefore, this reflection through the sense organs that is happening on our mind, they are sharper and distinct. And after some time, the earlier impressions are erased and only this becomes real. The both of them are experienced by us. So, when we are seeing 50 people, is there a burden on the mind? If there are 500 persons, is there a burden on the mind? If all of them go away, is there any loss to the mind? So every experience is only that of the images, not actual. Images appear but do not exist. See, my friends. But what happens? Certain images, we make a frame and hang them on the wall. Certain objects, experiences, they are so deeply grounded. We do not want them to be erased. And then slowly as we grow, that becomes our personality. When I was small, I was in Honolulu, and then from there we came, then I came to Yumritalaya. A non-existing entity is created. See, friends, therefore, what is this Maya, Shakti? So, Trigunehi Nigudham. Because of the impact of the three gunas on our own life, that which doesn't exist is created. And therefore, we have to understand what is this Maya or the Shakti. Karyadashrayastaisha bhave shaktir vilakshana spotangaro drishyamano shakti tatranu miyate. See, this Shakti is Karya Ashraya. When you take the hot coal, put on your palm, and there will be a blister. So from that we come to know there is a heat in that object. Karya, effect. From the effect, the cause is inferred. Karya Ashraya. Then Bhavak Shakti, Vilakshana. But it is other than the blister. Blister is not hot, it is cold. So this burning power, Shakti, has created the effect. But after creating the effect, that Shakti is not associated with the effect thereafter. Karyashraya. See? Karyashrayatahascha esha. Then it is Bhave Shakti Vilakshana. It is other than the blister. Then Spotangarau Drishyamano. But when we see that coal is very hot, it is seen. And although the coal is cold, yet we know that if we invoke, then the burning power will come out. So when it is not manifesting, cold, the coal remains cold, unmanifest. When it manifests, it creates effect. But it is neither with the effect nor with the origin, the coal, where it is. If this is the coal, suppose this is hot, I put it in my, then I take it, it is so hot. So it must be very hot, therefore I got burning. But when I have some yogic power, because of which the burning power of the fire is not influencing me. We have seen it in lives of many great Mahatmas. That which is hot for others, it is not hot for them. Then instead of going to the Mahatmas, take a simple example. Those who are suffering from very high diabetes, if they step on fire, they don't get burnt. They do not get the feeling of burning. If they get their foot is cut because of something, they don't get experience. But the gangrene will start. Therefore, this burning power is equal to the Maya Shakti of Paramatma, Brahman, and the effect and its presence in both the places, it cannot be experienced. Neither it can be experienced in the effect, nor can it be experienced in the object. Then what it is? Vilakshana, vichitra. See? Sputangaro drishyamanav shakti tatra anumiyate. Thereafter, this example which I told you. Now, second example is about the same principle Maya Shakti. Pruthu budnodakaro ghataha karyotra mrittika shabdadvihi panchagunaihi yukta shakti tu tadvidha. Now, the udarakara ghataha, out of the clay or the mud, a pot is made. Because that mud has got the Shakti which can be converted into a pot. You cannot make a pot out of fire. You cannot make a pot out of water. But you can make the pot out of the clay or the mud. So the mud has the power which can be made into a pot. So, Pruthu budnodakaro ghataha karyaha atra. So this is the effect of the mrittika, the clay or the mud. Then the same mud is also shabdadvihi panchagunaihi yukta. But that mud is also having shabda sparcha rupa rasagandha. But the shabda sparcha rupa rasagandha is with the mud and also the ability of the mud to express in the shape, in the form of a pot. Both of them cannot be established without seeing the pot or without using the sense organs. And therefore, this Shakti is two types explained in this mud. Now, continuing further. न पृथिव्यादिर्न शब्दादि शक्ता वस्तु यथा तथा अतएव ही अचिंत्या एषा न निर्वचनम अर्हति. Therefore, this Shakti, the power, which is associated with the qualities like Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha of that of the mud, it and also the Pruthu, the size of the mud pot, etc. Let it be like this. However, it cannot be imagined what it is like. It can't be explained. See? Therefore, when we take this knowledge and then analyze our experiences, wherever there is a speciality, it is object. See? Blue, green, yellow, red, speciality. They are all seen by the vision. Vision has no color, no shape, no size. See? But what happens? We are obsessed with some speciality. As a result, we go away from our sense organs. And therefore, lesser the choice we give ourselves, we come closer to our own self. How simple it is. See? But what is affluence? Affluence is giving more options to suffer. See? Ice cream. What is ice cream? I don't like that ice cream. But it is not available now. Then I will not eat. You scream then. See? How small little things can change our whole quality of life. And the foundation is this. Therefore, these various qualities of the mud, like the sound, etc., and also making into a shape of a pot, etc., they are there, but they are achintya. You cannot imagine what it is like. Therefore, the Shakti cannot be explained. It is like this or like that. See? Continue further. Karyotpattehe pura Shakti nigudha mrudi avasthita kulaladi sahayena vikara karatam brajet. Now this mud or the clay, it has the potentiality which can make the clay appear as a pot. But when Karotpatte Pura Shakti Nigudha, but it is unmanifest. And Murdi Avasthita, then Kulaladi Sahayena. But then the pot maker comes, and after the pot maker comes, then that Shakti, the power in the mud, which was inherent but unmanifest, he is making it into a pot, and this is how this Shakti of the mud is established after looking at the pot. Therefore, Karyotpatti, the one which can be established from the effect, is the cause. Now one more step. Cause and effect are illusions. One digitally downloaded child was asked by the father, "You behave like this, this is no good. I am your father." "Dad, enough is enough." Now the dad started shivering. What is coming? "Who told you? You gave me birth." The father can't say anything. "Who called you dad without me? If I am not born, you cannot be a father." So the father is because of the son, or the son is because of the father. The Panda. Mutual dependence is supported by something which is independent of the mutual dependency. See? Therefore, Kulaladi Sahayena Vikara Karatam Rajet. So this Shakti of the clay to manifest in the form of the pot was invoked by the pot maker. Pruthutwadi Vikarantam Sparshadim Chapi Mrittikam Ekikritya Ghatam Prahuhu Vichara Vikala Janaha. Those who are Vichara Vikala Janaha, dull-witted fools like us. See? Pruthutwadi Vikaranta. So, the ability of the clay to modify into the pot, and also the various qualities of the clay, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, etc., the Ekikritya, these two qualities of the mud, they are brought together, and thereafter Ekikritya Ghatam Prahuhu. Then it is called as a pot. By whom? Vichara Vikala Janaha. So their attention is now neither at the clay nor at the 5 attributes of the clay, but they are lost only in the shape and the name of the object. See how subtle this topic is. Therefore, vichara vikala janaha, those who are not able to take this deep dive. See, there was one person, Agrawal, he just happened to come and sit in my class in Kaivalyadham. And I was talking to the students on Brahma Sutra. He just came. And after that, he told me, Swamiji, I got a suggestion. I said, yeah. You know, this Brahman is not going to help in life. Okay? Let them learn something, do some exercise. See those laborers, they are working hard in the sun. That is what life is. I said, I have no objection, you take the students. But first of all, replace them with the laborers. Otherwise, what will I do here? Okay, so he went to those laborers. Now from today onwards, you will sit inside the AC room and comfortably listen instead of suffering in the heat. Go and study. He said, we are having pity on the students. Whole day they keep on sitting and reading and writing. It is convenient for us to lift the kudal and lagao. See, vichara vikala janaha. There are two types of vichara vikala jana. One is those who are sitting but they are not capable of tuning themselves with the teacher, they doze off. And the second one are those, they are constantly fighting within themselves. How this is possible? So vichara vikala janaha, those who are able to get the meaning in one go. Bhagavan Shankaracharya tells there are 4 types of students. Uttam Adhikari, then Madhyam Adhikari, third is Adham Adhikari, and fourth is Adhamadham. Uttam Adhikari, by listening only once, things are over. No doubt, no nothing. Then Madhyam Adhikari, he has to do reflection again and again, spend time on that. Third, Adham Adhikari, understand nothing. No difference between him and a chair. Same level. And the last, Adhamadham, understands exactly opposite. See? So, vichara vikala janaha, for them it becomes impossible. And therefore you will see, for the Vedanta classes, never imagine there will be huge crowds. It is not for any Tom, Dick and Harry. See, friends, kulala vyaprute purvo yavanam shasa no ghataha paschatto prutu buddhnadi matve yukta hi kumbhata. So, kulala vyaprute purvaha. Before the involvement of the pot maker, that clay or the mud is not called as the pot. It is only mud. Paschattu, then the pot maker came and started playing with the clay, and thereafter a shape is created and a pot is created, and then it is called as the kumbha or the pot. Thereafter, sa ghato na murdo bhinnaha. Now that pot is not separate from the clay. Pot maker is separate from the clay. When we buy a pot, go home, the pot maker doesn't come with us. But the clay comes because it is the upadan karana, material cause. So, na ghato, sa ghato, na murdaha bhinna. Viyoge sati anikshanat. If you remove the mud from the pot, what remains? Clean pot. You can imagine what must be the frustration of the teacher. So, the pot is only a name and a form given to the clay. So, when you are lifting the pot, in fact, you are lifting the clay. Now, here there is one rule. The name and the form can be destroyed, but the clay cannot be destroyed. This is Sati Anikshanat. If there is no clay, there is neither the form nor the name. So, ghato na mrudo bhinnaha viyoge sati anikshanat na api avinnaha pura. See? Pinda dashayam anavekshanat. And also pura, before this pot was made by the pot maker, even in that also the pot is not seen. Bring it two together. If you remove the clay from the pot, pot cannot exist. And if the pot is not made out of the clay, there also pot is not seen. But we do see the pot. Now, where is the pot? So what we have to say? Pot is an appearance on the clay, and clay is therefore the substratum, and pot or the name and the form, they are superimposed on the clay. See? A girl married, superimposed, daughter-in-law. Now what is the difference? See, friends, therefore, the more we recognize in this way, without the clay, there cannot be pot. But if you want to see the pot in the clay, there you cannot see the pot. See? Now, if you take that pot and break it, after breaking, the form, shape, and the name of the pot is broken, gone. But the pieces are still there. Then we pulverize those pieces, make into powder. So the pieces are not there, but the clay is there. See? You cannot destroy the mud. In the same manner, when objects are destroyed, means objects are rejected, vision is still there. Vision is closed, mind is still there. Mind sleeps, I is still there. I manifest or unmanifest, I continue to exist. Because I cannot experience my absence any time. That eternal presence is our essential nature. And it is this potentiality, the Shakti of this Brahman or the reality. And it is not separate for anybody. It is one common principle. Like the laws of nature are not separate from place to place or from the humanity to humanity. They are universal. Therefore, Sanatana Dharma is more scientific, rather only scientific. It is not addressed to a people in a geographical area at a particular period of time, but it is eternal. See, friends. So, ataha anirvachaniyam yoyam shaktivattena shaktijaha avyaktatve shaktirukta vyaktatve ghatanamavrit. Therefore, this pot is created by the power of the clay, and it cannot be described what it is like. And therefore, it is called as unmanifest. And that is why all the waves of the past, in the present and the future, They are all unmanifest in the ocean. They are not created. They are not born. They don't come from outside. This is what we told you, solid space. See? Therefore, this potentiality, Shakti, Maya Shakti, cannot be described, it is like this or like that. So when it is unmanifest, it is called as avyakta, and when it is manifest, it is called as a pot. See, the mud plus its potentiality, which cannot be spoken of. But when the potentiality is activated by the pot maker, then it is creating a pot. So what is the pot? Pot is the product of clay plus the potentiality. Exactly, we two are essentially divine, one without a second. But when this potentiality creates this identification with the body, then I versus you are created. This is the meaning of this. And therefore, when we are in deep sleep, that time we are neither mother, father, brother, sister, husband, wife. But again, where from all that comes? Because again, that Maya Shakti starts expressing. And we take this impact of the Maya to be real. So we give importance to the pot and not to the clay. See? So, ataha anirvachanoyam shaktivattena shaktijaha. So, this pot cannot be spoken what it is. Whether it is the clay or it is the pot. See? If you say the pot, made of what? Clay, then you should clay. But if it is a clay, then, but clay has no shape, no form. But this has the form and shape. And therefore, the unmanifest manifests in the form of a shape or a form. That is why the word is called name and form. Now, the reality, the Brahman, with the conditioning of the name and the form, is called the Jagat, the world. The same reality with the conditioning of the Panchakoshas is called the Jiva. And the same reality with the conditioning of the creativity or the Maya is called the Ishvara. The same thing. But what happens? Our attention goes to the pot, the usage, activity, where it was created, who created, so many things. And in that, we forget about the clay or the pot. Exactly the same way. We get carried away by the time, space, object, utility, etc. and we forget our own being. See, friends. Therefore, this Maya Shakti creates this world. Like what? Indra Jalika Nishgampi Maya na vyajate pura paschat Gandharva Senadi Rupena Vyaktim Apnuyat. So, this Indrajalik Nishtha, this power which is with the magicians, that Maya power, before it is manifest, it is not known. After it is manifested, then the effects are seen. And in this manner, this Maya is creating the whole world. But whatever is created with the Maya, it only appears, doesn't exist. See, friends, the more you reflect on this, therefore our mantra we told you, do not talk about your past. So, today it is 17 December. If you take this as your mantra, 17 December 2025, meaning what? Before this talk, you don't talk anything. You are Paramatma. Last time also you told Marunga. See? Mind cannot survive without the past and the future. Mind cannot survive without names and the forms. Mind cannot survive in the utter present. And therefore, this mind is making us mad. So, what is this Maya Shakti? It is the mind. You can't define mind. What is the mind? See? Mana eva manusyanam karanam bandha mokshayoho bandhaya vishayasaktam muktam nirvishayam srutam. Therefore, instead of struggling with this mind and invoking its various potentialities, the best way is bypass the mind. See? So, evam maya mayatvena vikarasya anrutatmatam vikaradhara mrud vastu satyatvam chad bravishruti. Therefore, maya mayatvena, that part is clay plus maya. Maya mayatvena vikarasya anrutatmanam. And therefore, part is not real, but the clay is real. In the same manner, childhood is not real, I am real. Teenage is not real, I am real. Middle age is not real, I am real. Old age is real, I am not real, I am real. They have come and gone. I have neither come nor gone. That is the reality. See? Vikaradhara mrudvastu satyatvam cha bravishruti. Slowly and steadily, we can understand vikara adhara, the substratum, the clay, the mud, satyatvam, that is the reality. But instead of focusing attention on the mud, our attention is on the name and the form. In the deep sleep, what is our shape? What is our weight? What is our position? What is our gender? What is our age? Nothing. But we continue to be. Therefore, when we are understanding this perfectly well, then play the game of life. We don't have to be all the time sitting like in meditation every time. Everybody is enjoying and this. No. Meditation is not done. We have to live in that poise 24/7. So, mrudvastu satyatvam cha shruti declared. Therefore, the mud supporting the pot is the reality, and therefore mud is the reality and not the pot. In the same manner, we have supported the objects, therefore sense organs are the reality. The mind supports the sense organs, their mind is the reality. I support the mind, therefore I is the reality. Life supports the I, therefore life is the reality. See? In the Devi Stuti, it is said, Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Chetanetyavidiyate Namastasyai 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 Namo Namah. Thereafter, Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Kshudha Rupena Samstita, Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Nidra Rupena Samstita, Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Kshanti Rupena Samstita. So, these are all the expressions of the principle of life. Chetana iti abhidiyate. See, in a dead object, inert object, all these hunger, thirst, etc., nothing is there. So our spiritual practice should be rather withdraw from the objects and the things and beings and come back to the Chetana. So from that standpoint, look at the world. See? In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Krishna says the same thing. Atma upammena sarvatra samam pashyati yorjuna sukham vayadi va dukkham sa yogi paramo mataha. Like, I experience good and bad in my life. If something good happens, I want to celebrate it with my friends. If something bad happens, I expect some consolation or loving hand around me. In the same manner, he who is able to celebrate the success and joy of others, and he who is able to extend a helping hand to the needy, he alone has understood Vedanta. See, it's not only words. It has to be converted into experience. And it can get converted into experience only if we have experienced what is said. Like, fire is hot. See? Heard, but no experience. Only once experience. You are not required to be told again. See? And that experience is not hatred. See, recognize this subtle point. When we learn from our experiences, we do not create impressions of likes and dislikes on our mind. And if we do not learn, then we react. Dekho suno, bag bag karo. And then the whole samsara begins. See, friends, everything is happening in understanding, knowledge. Vang nishpadyam nama matram vikaro nasya satyata. Then an object is to be indicated. A form is formed, a form like a pot. After that object is formed, then it has to be named. See? In Western world, they determine the gender of the child before birth. And therefore, before the birth, they have to give the name so that they can register in their certificate, birth certificate, before birth. See? Because form is coming, forms are many, so how to separate them from each other? Therefore a name is given. And therefore, name and the form is the samsara. See, Maharaj. So, Vang nishpadyam nama matra vikaro nasya satyata. Similarly, the modification of the speech or the mind is the speech, it is not real. It is only word. And when the words do not carry meaning, it is a noise. So when we talk about Brahmananda, no meaning is only a noise. Therefore, Vang nishpadyam nama matram vikaraha na asya satyata sparshadi guna yukta tu satya kevala mrittika. So, only say a pot, it will nothing, you are only talking about it. Like we talk about Brahman, Brahmananda, chai. Nama matra, nothing. But when sparshadi guna yukta tu satya kevala mrittika. But what is the reality? Reality is the clay, not the word. See? And therefore, when we are talking, and if our words do not carry the meaning, it does not have impact on the listener. We all have this experience. When we listen to somebody, it touches us. When we listen to somebody, it irritates us. Because in the first case, it is meaningful. In the second case, it is noiseful. See, friends, if I write on a paper, stone, and throw at somebody, then somebody will open, oh, Swamiji wants a stone, put a stone in there. So when the paper carrying the word stone is not associated with the meaning, it is not hurting. But when the same paper with the word plus the meaning, it has impact. Exactly the same way. We have to therefore value every word that we talk. And for that, the spiritual practice is, dekho suno mat bolo. Then the words carry meaning. See? There are some people, they are good, they are not bad, but they are unable to keep their mouth shut. Constantly, and all your potentiality is lost. See? So, Svang Nishpadya Nama Matram Vikaro Nasya Satyata Sparshadi Gunayukta Tu Satya Kevala Mrittika. See. Vyakta Vyakte Tadadhara Iti Trishu Adyayor Dvayoho Paryaya Kala Vedana Trutiyastu Anugachati. See. Vyakta manifest effect, avyakta unmanifest power, Shakti. Tad adharaha, support of them is the mud or the clay. Now out of these three, Trishu, Adyayoho, Dvayoho. What is the first? First is the effect and second is the power. Adya Dvayoho, Kala Bhedena, depending upon the reference to the time, they are separateness. And Trutiya Anugachati, and the mud or the clay, it is always with them. So out of these three, the pot, and that because of which the clay became the pot and the clay. Out of these three, the clay is the reality, the potentiality is in between appearing, and thereafter the clay, the pot is born. And therefore, we have to clearly understand that the mud is the reality and not the potentiality. See? Because potentiality manifests unmanifest, but mud doesn't become manifest. It is always there. Whether it is converted into a pot or not, mud continues to be mud. Whether we are young or old, we continue to be what we are. Meaning, that which is supporting all the changes without undergoing any change is the reality. See? All changes, colors and forms supported by the vision. Vision is the reality. All the changes in the sense organs supported by the mind. Mind is the reality. All the changes in the mind supported by I is the reality. I manifest, unmanifest, only available in waking, not in the dream and deep sleep, but the life is there, life is the reality. And life is a manifestation of pure consciousness, consciousness is reality. Go back. See, my friends, spiritual life is not a mechanical drill by say Techal. Every experience of our life is meditation. With that alone, we can come back to our own being. Therefore, Vyakta Avyakta, Vyakta is the effect, Avyakta is the potentiality, the power, and Tad Adharaha is the clay. Now out of these three, the two are If one is there, other is not there. If there is no potentiality, there cannot be pot. If there is no pot, potentiality cannot be established. But the clay is there. And therefore, we have to recognize this principle distinctly and clearly as our own experience. Therefore, nistatvam bhasamanam cha vyaktam utpatti nashabhag tad utpattau tasya nama vacha nishpadyate nurbihi. Nistatvam bhasamanam. That effect, here in the example pot, that effect, nistatvam, essentially doesn't exist. It is only the clay which is called as the pot. There is nothing like a pot. It's only the clay. We are lifting the clay and we are calling it as a pot. We are lifting the gold and we are calling it as an ornament. See? One person went to a jeweler and he said, I want to get some money loan from you. I don't have anything except my wedding ring. Please keep it and I'll return the amount after a few days, then return my thing. He said, okay, give back. And then he took that ring and started rubbing it on the shaligram. Don't do that. It is my love to my wife. You are rubbing it. Keep it with you. I am looking at the gold. See, my friends. Therefore, this effect is essentially non-existing. Only it appears and utpatti nashabhak. It is created, it can be destroyed. And in the creation, some persons are involved. And then those persons give them name. So, nrubihi tasya nama vacha nishpadyate. And then the people start giving name to that effect which is created and which can be destroyed. Isn't it? We also name our children. And what should be the name given to the children? Give him alpha, beta, gamma. No. We want to give the name our great-grandfather. His name should be given. Why? There are no other names. See? But in today's world, they don't listen to that. They go to their father. You know, today's world, who is the universal father? Google. And universal mother is Amma Jan. Amazon. Whatever you want, Amazon. And not like the real mother. If you don't know, you can return it. See, friends. So, vyakte nashtepi nama etad nruvrukte anuvartate. See, although the pot is broken, yet the word pot continues to be. So, what is called this pot is broken. What happened? Pot is broken. They don't talk about clay or mud at all because that it has gone so deeply in their head that they are only looking at the pot as a word and the clay, the reality is forgotten. See, friends, this is what we have told you this example. When our attention is on the four fingers, we have forgotten the space because of which the fingers are existing. So what is the material cause of the fingers? Space, air, fire, water and clay. See? Therefore, the whole samsara is only name and a form. That's it. See? Naam ucha karega. What ucha karega? Who will see it there? He should be nicha only. Vyakte nashtepi name anruta vaktre nruvaktre anuvartate. See? So although the pot is created and destroyed, but the name continues to be. See? And this is how the samsara is there. Therefore, nistatvad vinashitvad vacha rambanata namataha vyaktasya natu tadrupam satyam kinchit mrudadivat. Therefore, vacha rambanam vikaro namadheyam mrittika eva satyam. This thing comes from the Chandogya Upanishad. See? So, pot is nama matra. Nistatva, pot, there is nothing like pot. Then, nistatvat, vinashitvat, it can be destroyed. And therefore, the vacha rambana namataha. Therefore, the pot is only a word. It doesn't have any meaning. Vyaktasya, natu tad rupam. But that is not the real meaning of the word, but satyam kinchit mrudadivat. Therefore, if our attention is on the substratum, the superimposed name and the form will not disturb us. One of my friend in Thane is jeweler. So his new opening was there, some new shop or something. So I was called, I went there. Then puja, poti, all kind of thing. And then he says, Swamiji, these are the new things we have got. These are all made out of gold, including this, the Ganesh ji and his, that Chuha and Shivji, everything. Which you like? I said, you imagine? He said, you will like Ganesh ji? I said, wrong. Why? Tell me whichever is heavier that I like. You keep the name and the form. I am interested only in the gold. See, friends, we get carried away by the names and the forms. I was talking to somebody and that buddy told me, Swamiji, I have seen that particular person. He is very close to you. What is that which makes it? I said, look here, I do not evaluate people. I am not here to evaluate anybody. Then, where my frequency matches, there I go. So simple. Like, every gadget cannot be fixed with any other gadget. You have to have proper frequency matching. Exactly the same way. People are not good or bad. We are nobody to label anybody. But when we know this kind of food doesn't suit our system, don't eat it, that's it. This kind of people, if you stay with them, you become crazy, then get away. Rather than joining with them. See? Therefore, nistatvadi vinashitvan vacharambana namataha vyaktasya natu tadrupam satyam kinchit mridadivat. Therefore, do not give too much importance to the name and the form. Whatever it is, just be. Vyaktakale tata purvam urdvam api ekarupa bhag satatvam vinasham cha satyam mrudvastu katyate. Now from here we'll take tomorrow's class. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.